Josh Duggar, once a prominent figure in the reality television world and a member of the famous Duggar family from TLC's *19 Kids and Counting*, has found himself in a situation that few could have predicted. His fall from grace has been marked by scandal, legal troubles, and imprisonment, leaving many to wonder about the state of his personal life, particularly his marriage to Anna Duggar. As Josh serves time behind bars for crimes that shocked both fans and critics alike, questions linger. Is Anna still standing by her husband? How are their children coping with this new reality? And what does the future hold for a man who was once seen as a paragon of conservative values? Josh Duggar's story took a dark turn long before his incarceration. In 2015, allegations surfaced regarding inappropriate behavior involving minors during his teenage years. These accusations deeply tarnished his reputation and led to widespread public scrutiny. At the time, Josh admitted to some wrongdoing, but claimed he had repented and moved on, framing it as youthful indiscretion rather than criminal activity. However, in 2021, federal charges were brought against him for possession of child pornography, a crime that carried far more severe implications than previous revelations. The trial painted a grim picture of Josh's actions, ultimately resulting in his conviction. Sentenced to over a decade in prison, Josh now faces not only the loss of freedom, but also the unraveling of the carefully curated image he once maintained. For someone raised in a devoutly Christian household known for its strict moral code, the irony is staggering. What makes this saga even more complex is how those closest to him, especially his wife, Anna, are navigating these turbulent waters. Throughout the controversies surrounding Josh, Anna has remained an enigmatic figure. Initially standing firmly by her husband, after the first wave of scandals broke, she appeared resolute in her commitment to their marriage. Public statements released at the time emphasized forgiveness and faith, suggesting that Anna believed in Josh's ability to change and grow spiritually. Yet, as the severity of his offenses became undeniable, cracks began to show in her unwavering support. In interviews and social media posts, Anna has attempted to balance loyalty to her spouse with accountability for his actions. She has spoken candidly about the challenges of raising their 6 children while dealing with the emotional toll of Josh's imprisonment. While she continues to refer to herself as Mrs. Duggar and maintains communication with Josh through letters and visits, there are hints of strain beneath the surface. Friends close to the couple suggest that Anna struggles daily with reconciling her religious beliefs with the harsh realities of her husband's choices. Some observers speculate whether Anna will continue to uphold her vows, or if the pressures of living under such scrutiny might eventually lead her to reconsider her stance. Divorce is rarely discussed openly within conservative Christian communities like the one the Duggars belong to, making any potential separation all the more fraught. Still, given the circumstances, it wouldn't be surprising if Anna finds herself questioning whether staying married aligns with her own well-being and that of her children. Prison life represents a stark contrast to the privileged existence Josh once enjoyed. Gone are the days of appearing on national television, running for political office, or managing high-profile businesses. Instead, Josh spends his days in a controlled environment where every movement is monitored and privacy is virtually non-existent. Reports indicate that he has been placed in protective custody due to his high-profile status and the nature of his crimes, which isolates him further from general population inmates. Despite these hardships, Josh reportedly clings to his faith, attending chapel services and participating in Bible studies whenever possible. Religion seems to serve as a lifeline for him, offering solace amid despair. However, the question remains, can faith alone sustain him over the course of a lengthy sentence? Prison psychologists note that inmates convicted of sex-related offenses often face unique challenges, including ostracism from fellow prisoners and difficulty reintegrating into society upon release. If Josh hopes to emerge from this experience with any semblance of redemption, he must confront not only his external circumstances, but also the internal demons that contributed to his downfall. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this ordeal involves Josh and Anna's children. Ranging in age from toddlers to preteens, they are old enough to sense that something is profoundly wrong yet too young to fully comprehend the gravity of their father's situation. Anna has reportedly shielded them from excessive details, focusing instead on providing stability and routine. Nevertheless, the absence of their father looms large, affecting everything from family dynamics to individual development. For instance, the eldest child, Mackenzie, may feel torn between love for her dad and confusion over his actions. Younger siblings might struggle with feelings of abandonment or embarrassment when interacting with peers. To mitigate these effects, Anna leans heavily on extended family members for support, ensuring that the kids remain connected to their grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. This network provides a crucial buffer against the isolation that can accompany having a parent in prison. Still, no amount of familial solidarity can erase the stigma attached to their last name. As they grow older, the Duggar children will likely grapple with how to define themselves outside of their father's shadow. Will they embrace the same values espoused by their parents, or will they rebel against the rigid expectations imposed upon them? Only time will tell. Unsurprisingly, the Duggar drama has captivated audiences worldwide, sparking debates about morality, justice, and forgiveness. Some view Josh's imprisonment as a fitting consequence for his crimes, arguing that leniency would undermine efforts to protect vulnerable populations. Others express sympathy for Anna and the children, acknowledging the collateral damage caused by Josh's actions. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories abound, with certain segments of the internet speculating about hidden agendas or cover-ups within the Duggar family. Media coverage has played a significant role in shaping public opinion. Documentaries, podcasts, and investigative reports dissect every facet of the case, often blurring the line between fact and sensationalism. This constant attention places additional pressure on Anna, who must navigate not only her private struggles, but also the judgment of strangers eager to weigh in on her decisions. Interestingly, the Duggar family as a whole has largely retreated from the spotlight since Josh's arrest. Once eager participants in reality TV, they now prefer to keep a low profile, perhaps recognizing that their brand has been irreparably damaged. This shift underscores the broader impact of Josh's legal troubles, not just on his immediate family, but on the entire Duggar empire, built around wholesome, traditional values. As Josh serves out his sentence, the question of redemption hangs in the balance. Historically, individuals convicted of similar offenses face immense hurdles upon re-entering society. Employers are hesitant to hire them, neighbors eye them with suspicion, and relationships often falter under the weight of past transgressions. Even within religious circles, trust is difficult to rebuild once broken. That said, Josh's strong ties to his faith community may offer a glimmer of hope. Should he demonstrate genuine remorse and actively work toward rehabilitation, there is a chance, albeit slim, that he could salvage some aspects of his life post-prison. Whether Anna chooses to remain part of that journey remains uncertain. Her decision will hinge not only on her personal convictions, but also on practical considerations related to finances, parenting, and self-preservation. Ultimately, the story of Josh Duggar serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hypocrisy and unchecked privilege. It reminds us that no one is immune to mistakes, but the consequences of those mistakes vary greatly depending on power, influence, and opportunity. For Anna, the road ahead promises to be fraught with challenges, requiring strength, resilience, and perhaps a willingness to redefine what it means to stand by your partner. In the end, the fate of Josh and Anna Duggar lies in their hands, and perhaps in the hands of those who choose to extend grace amidst tragedy. One thing is certain: their journey offers profound lessons about love, loyalty, and the enduring human capacity for both harm and healing. The debate over homeschooling has long been a contentious issue, with supporters touting its flexibility and personalized approach, while critics voice concerns about potential gaps in education. Recently, Anna Duggar, a member of the well-known Duggar family from TLC's *19 Kids and Counting*, found herself at the center of this discussion after sharing a video of her homeschooling her young son. The clip sparked widespread criticism, with many accusing her of educational neglect. As an influential figure who grew up in a highly publicized conservative Christian household, Anna's methods have drawn scrutiny not only for their pedagogical soundness, but also as a reflection of broader societal attitudes toward alternative forms of education. The controversy ignited when Anna posted a video on social media showcasing what she described as a typical day of teaching her child. In the footage, she can be seen attempting to engage her toddler in basic learning activities, such as counting and letter recognition. While some viewers praised her efforts to provide a nurturing environment, others were quick to point out perceived shortcomings in her instructional techniques. Critics argued that the exercises lacked structure, depth, and age-appropriate rigor, suggesting they might hinder rather than foster her son's cognitive development. Some even went so far as to accuse her of failing to meet minimal educational standards, a serious allegation given the importance placed on early childhood education. This incident is particularly noteworthy because it highlights the challenges faced by parents who choose to homeschool their children, especially those without formal training in education. For decades, the Duggar family has been under intense public scrutiny due to their unconventional lifestyle choices, including their strict adherence to traditional gender roles and religious values. These factors make Anna's venture into homeschooling more than just a personal decision. It becomes symbolic of larger ideological debates surrounding parental autonomy, faith-based education, and the role of state oversight in ensuring quality instruction. As such, the backlash against her video reflects not only concerns about her specific practices, but also deeper anxieties about how homeschooled children are prepared, or potentially unprepared, for life beyond their immediate family environments. Upon closer examination of Anna's video, several aspects of her teaching approach stand out as problematic to critics. One glaring issue is the lack of structured curriculum evident throughout the session. Rather than following a clear framework or sequence of lessons tailored to her son's developmental stage, Anna appears to improvise most activities. For instance, during one segment, she attempts to teach her toddler numbers by pointing to random objects around the room and asking him to count them aloud. While the intention behind this interactive method may seem positive, experts argue that it lacks coherence and fails to build foundational skills systematically. Early childhood educators emphasize the importance of repetition, scaffolding, and concrete examples to help young learners grasp abstract concepts like numeracy. Without these elements, the exercise risks being confusing or ineffective. Another concern raised by critics is the absence of meaningful engagement between teacher and student. Throughout much of the video, Anna's interactions with her son come across as superficial or overly directive. She frequently prompts him with questions he cannot yet answer, leading to moments of frustration for both parties. For example, when trying to introduce letter sounds, she repeatedly asks him to repeat unfamiliar phonetic combinations. What does sh say? Without providing sufficient context or visual aids. This approach contrasts sharply with evidence-based strategies that prioritize play-based learning and multisensory experiences to keep young children engaged. Educational psychologists stress that toddlers thrive in environments where curiosity is encouraged through exploration and discovery, not rigid questioning that may overwhelm them. Furthermore, critics highlight the mismatch between Joy-Anna's expectations and her son's current abilities. At times, she seems to assume he possesses knowledge or skills that are developmentally premature for his age group. For instance, she encourages him to write letters using a marker despite his motor skills likely being insufficiently developed for such fine-tuned tasks. Experts note that expecting mastery of complex activities too early can discourage children and create unnecessary pressure. Instead, age-appropriate milestones should guide lesson planning, allowing children to progress naturally while building confidence along the way. By overlooking these principles, Joy-Anna's methods risk undermining her son's enthusiasm for learning rather than fostering it. These flaws collectively suggest that Joy-Anna's approach to homeschooling lacks the depth and thoughtfulness required to support her son's intellectual growth. While her intentions may stem from a genuine desire to educate him within the confines of their family values, the execution raises significant doubts about whether her son will receive a well-rounded foundation in critical areas such as literacy, numeracy, and social-emotional development. Critics assert that without addressing these gaps, her homeschooling efforts could inadvertently set him back academically compared to peers benefiting from more structured educational settings. Education professionals and child psychologists have weighed in on Joy-Anna Duggar's homeschooling methods, offering a wealth of insights that underscore the importance of structured, developmentally appropriate teaching practices. Dr. Susan Thompson, an early childhood education specialist, emphasizes that successful homeschooling requires careful planning and alignment with established learning benchmarks. Children need consistency and progressive challenges to develop foundational skills, she explains. Without a well-thought-out curriculum, there's a real risk of leaving gaps in their understanding. Dr. Thompson points out that Joy-Anna's reliance on ad hoc activities, such as impromptu counting games or unguided phonics drills, lacks the systematic reinforcement necessary for retention and application. This fragmented approach could lead to surface-level comprehension rather than deep, lasting knowledge. Child psychologist Dr. Mark Harris echoes these concerns, adding that effective homeschooling must also account for emotional and social growth alongside academic achievement. He notes that Joy-Anna's video shows limited attention to building her son's intrinsic motivation and self-confidence, which are crucial components of early learning. Young children learn best through guided play and exploration, where they feel safe to experiment and make mistakes. Dr. Harris states, when lessons become overly corrective or demand performance beyond a child's readiness, it can stifle their natural curiosity and love for learning. He further criticizes Joy-Anna's frequent use of direct questioning without adequate scaffolding, arguing that this technique places undue pressure on her son and may foster anxiety instead of fostering joy in discovery. Moreover, both experts highlight the critical role of parental preparation in homeschooling success. Dr. Thompson stresses that while passion and dedication are essential qualities for homeschooling parents, they must also possess a solid understanding of educational theory and child development. Teaching isn't just about delivering information, it's about knowing how to present it in ways that resonate with different stages of cognitive growth, she says. In Joy-Anna's case, her lack of formal training in education is evident in her inability to adapt her methods to her son's needs or recognize when adjustments are necessary. Dr. Harris adds that this gap underscores the value of external resources, such as certified curricula, workshops, or consultations with professional educators, which can help bridge knowledge deficits and ensure balanced instruction. Ultimately, these expert perspectives reveal that Joy-Anna's homeschooling approach falls short not only in content delivery, but also in its failure to nurture holistic development. Her methods, though well-meaning, reflect a broader issue among untrained homeschoolers: the risk of prioritizing convenience or personal beliefs over proven pedagogical strategies. As Dr. Thompson aptly concludes, homeschooling offers immense potential, but it demands commitment to continuous learning, not just for the child, but for the parent as well. The release of Jinger Duggar's homeschooling video triggered a firestorm of reactions across social media platforms, with opinions sharply divided between staunch defenders and vocal critics. On Twitter, hashtags like Jinger Neglect and Homeschool Fail quickly gained traction, illustrating the intensity of the backlash. Many users lambasted her methods as inadequate, with one commenter writing, "If this is how you're teaching your kid, maybe it's time to reconsider homeschooling altogether." Another user sarcastically remarked, "Counting random objects doesn't make you an educator, it makes you someone who owns a house full of stuff." Such comments reflected widespread skepticism about whether Jinger was equipped to provide a quality education without formal training. However, not everyone agreed with the negative assessments. Supporters rallied behind Jinger, praising her dedication to raising her child according to her values. A Facebook post defending her read, "She's doing her best as a mom in a world that constantly judges every move we make," cut her some slack. Others pointed out that homeschooling allows for flexibility and individualized attention, arguing that traditional schooling isn't inherently superior. One Instagram user shared, "Every parent teaches differently. Why are we tearing her down for trying?" Despite these defenses, the majority of online discourse leaned heavily toward criticism, often framed as concerns about potential harm to her son's future. Parenting forums buzzed with threads debating whether Jinger's approach constituted educational neglect, with many participants citing research on early childhood development to bolster their arguments. Amidst the polarized responses, a recurring theme emerged: the public's heightened sensitivity to how celebrity figures navigate parenting decisions, particularly when those choices intersect with deeply held societal beliefs about education and child welfare. The controversy surrounding Jinger Duggar's homeschooling video extends beyond her personal parenting choices, touching upon broader societal tensions regarding faith-based education, parental autonomy, and the role of government oversight in homeschooling. For families like the Duggars, who prioritize religious values and traditional lifestyles, homeschooling is often seen as a means to shield children from secular influences while instilling deeply held beliefs. However, this approach has increasingly come under scrutiny, particularly when it intersects with concerns about educational quality and child welfare. Critics argue that without adequate safeguards, faith-based homeschooling can sometimes prioritize ideological conformity over academic rigor, potentially limiting a child's exposure to diverse perspectives and critical thinking skills. Parental autonomy lies at the heart of the homeschooling debate, with proponents asserting that parents have the right to determine their child's educational path. Yet, this principle raises important questions about accountability. Unlike traditional schools, which are subject to state standards and evaluations, homeschooling operates largely outside formal oversight mechanisms. While many homeschooling parents successfully balance autonomy with responsibility, cases like Jinger's highlight the risks when untrained caregivers attempt to replicate professional educational environments. Without mandatory assessments or access to qualified resources, there is a legitimate concern that some children may fall through the cracks, deprived of the foundational skills needed for lifelong success. The role of government oversight remains contentious, as policymakers grapple with finding a balance between respecting parental rights and protecting vulnerable children. Advocates for increased regulation argue that minimum educational standards and periodic evaluations could help ensure all homeschooled students receive a baseline level of instruction. Conversely, opponents fear that excessive intervention could infringe upon religious freedoms and undermine the very essence of homeschooling. As debates continue, The challenge lies in crafting policies that safeguard children's educational and developmental needs, while honoring the diverse motivations driving families to choose this path. The uproar over Jinger Duggar's homeschooling video underscores the complexities inherent in balancing parental freedom with educational accountability. While her critics raise valid concerns about the potential consequences of unstructured teaching methods, dismissing her efforts outright overlooks the sincerity and cultural context behind her choices. Homeschooling, particularly within faith-based communities, often stems from a desire to align education with deeply held values, a motivation that deserves acknowledgement even as its execution warrants critique. Striking a balance between respecting parental autonomy and ensuring children receive a robust education requires nuanced dialogue rather than sweeping condemnation. Looking ahead, the conversation around homeschooling must evolve to address systemic gaps. Providing accessible resources, such as affordable curricula, training programs, and community support networks, could empower parents like Jinger to refine their approaches without compromising their principles. Additionally, fostering open discussions about best practices in early childhood education can help bridge divides between advocates and skeptics. Ultimately, the goal should be to create an environment where all children, whether homeschooled or traditionally educated, have equitable opportunities to thrive intellectually, socially, and emotionally. Jinger Duggar, the beloved reality TV personality and former star of TLC's *19 Kids and Counting*, has always captivated audiences with her authenticity, faith, and warmth. Now, as she embarks on a new chapter of her life, Jinger is opening up about her journey into motherhood once again, this time for baby number 3. In a heartfelt message to her fans, Jinger expressed overwhelming gratitude and joy, saying she feels so incredibly blessed after hosting a special shower to celebrate the upcoming arrival of her third child. The event not only marked an exciting milestone in her family's life, but also served as a reminder of how far Jinger has come since stepping away from the spotlight of reality television. For those who have followed Jinger's story over the years, it comes as no surprise that this moment is filled with deep emotion and reflection. From her days growing up in the highly publicized Duggar household to finding love and building a life with her husband Jeremy Vuolo, Jinger's path has been one of transformation and growth. Her decision to step back from the structured world of reality TV allowed her to focus on creating a quieter, more intimate existence centered around faith, family, and community. This latest pregnancy represents yet another opportunity for Jinger to embrace the blessings of parenthood while staying true to herself and the values she holds dear. The anticipation surrounding baby number 3 has brought immense excitement for both Jinger and Jeremy, as well as their 2 older children, Felicity Nicole, nicknamed Fen, and Samuel James, as they prepare to welcome another addition to their growing brood. Jinger couldn't help but express her awe at the outpouring of love and support from friends, family, and fans alike during such a sacred time. With every detail of the shower radiating thoughtfulness and care, it was clear that this celebration wasn't just about preparing for a new baby, it was about cherishing the gift of life itself and all the ways it enriches our lives. For Jinger, this experience serves as a powerful affirmation of God's grace and provision, leaving her heart full of hope and thanksgiving. The baby shower for Jinger and Jeremy's third child was nothing short of magical, a beautifully orchestrated gathering that reflected the couple's personalities and priorities. Held in a cozy outdoor setting adorned with soft pastel decorations, twinkling string lights, and floral arrangements bursting with color, the atmosphere perfectly captured the essence of joy and anticipation surrounding this new addition to their family. Friends and loved ones traveled near and far to attend, filling the space with laughter, hugs, and heartfelt conversations. It was evident from the start that this wasn't just any ordinary party. It was a celebration deeply rooted in love, faith, and community. Each element of the event was meticulously planned to honor Jinger and Jeremy's journey into parenthood once again. Guests were greeted by a charming welcome table featuring hand-lettered signs bearing Bible verses about God's blessings and promises for children. Inside, tables were draped with lace runners and topped with centerpieces made of wildflowers, an homage to Jinger's appreciation for simplicity and natural beauty. One particularly touching detail was a memory wall displaying photos of Fen and Sam throughout their early years, reminding everyone present of the incredible legacy of family being built within the Vuolo home. As guests mingled, they enjoyed homemade treats prepared by close friends, including lemon bars, mini quiches, and fruit tarts, alongside signature drinks like lavender lemonade and iced tea infused with mint. Activities included writing notes of encouragement for Jinger and Jeremy to read when they needed a boost during late-night feedings or challenging toddler moments. There was even a prayer station where attendees could pause and lift up specific intentions for the growing family. Every aspect of the day felt purposeful, designed not only to celebrate, but also to nurture the spiritual foundation upon which the Vuolos have built their lives together. Gifts poured in throughout the afternoon, each wrapped thoughtfully and accompanied by sweet cards offering words of wisdom, scripture, and personal anecdotes. Among the presents were practical items like cloth diapers, handmade blankets, and wooden toys crafted by local artisans, items chosen with intentionality to align with the Vuolos' commitment to sustainable living and simplicity. Yet what truly stood out were the moments shared between friends and family members, exchanging stories and dreams for the future while marveling at how quickly time seems to pass. By the end of the evening, tears of gratitude mingled with laughter as Jinger addressed the crowd, expressing her profound appreciation for everyone who had gathered to celebrate this milestone. She spoke candidly about how much these connections mean to her, not just today, but every day, and how grateful she feels to be surrounded by people who share her values and support her unconditionally. For Jinger, this baby shower wasn't simply about receiving gifts or marking another phase of motherhood. It was about basking in the collective love and prayers of those who believe in her and Jeremy's ability to raise their children with kindness, faith, and purpose. The entire event left an indelible impression, underscoring the depth of connection and community that continues to shape the Vuolo family's journey. In the days following the shower, Jinger took to social media to share her reflections on the profound impact of the celebration. With characteristic humility and sincerity, she opened up about how deeply moved she felt by the outpouring of love and support from her community. "I've spent so much time reflecting on everything we experienced that day," Jinger wrote, "and I can't help but feel overwhelmed by how blessed we are." For Jinger, the shower wasn't just a festive occasion, it was a tangible reminder of the power of community and the importance of leaning on others during life's most significant moments. She expressed gratitude for the thoughtful gestures, the heartfelt prayers, and the countless ways her friends and family had shown up for her family, reinforcing her belief in the strength of relationships forged through shared faith and genuine care. Jinger's posts also delved into the spiritual significance of this season in her life. As someone whose faith has always been central to her identity, she framed the arrival of baby number 3 as a divine blessing that fills her with awe and reverence. "Every child is a gift from God," she wrote, "and this little one already feels like such a miracle." Her words conveyed a sense of wonder and surrender, acknowledging that while parenthood comes with its challenges, it is also an opportunity to trust in God's plan and lean into His guidance. This perspective has clearly shaped how Jinger approaches motherhood, viewing each stage as a chance to grow spiritually and emotionally alongside her children. The emotional weight of this milestone was palpable in her reflections, especially as she considered the unique joys and responsibilities that come with expanding her family. Jinger spoke openly about feeling both excitement and a touch of nervousness as she prepares to balance the needs of 3 young children. Yet, rather than letting anxiety overshadow her joy, she emphasized the importance of embracing imperfection and relying on grace. "There are moments when I think, can we really do this?" she admitted. "But then I remember that we're never alone. We have each other, we have our community, and most importantly, we have God walking beside us every step of the way." Her vulnerability resonated deeply with her followers, many of whom commented on how relatable and inspiring her honesty was. By sharing her fears and doubts alongside her hopes and dreams, Jinger reminded others that it's okay to feel uncertain, even amid immense blessings. Her transparency not only strengthened her connection with her audience, but also reinforced the idea that there's beauty in authenticity. Through her reflections, Jinger painted a picture of motherhood as something simultaneously challenging and sacred, a journey marked by growth, trust, and unconditional love. Jinger Duggar Vuolo's evolution from a member of the Duggar family dynasty to a devoted wife and mother, navigating the complexities of parenthood, has been nothing short of remarkable. Growing up under the intense scrutiny of *19 kids and counting placed Jinger in a unique position, one where her life was often defined by external expectations rather than personal desires. However, her transition into adulthood revealed a woman determined to carve out her own path, one grounded in faith, authenticity, and an unwavering commitment to her values. Leaving behind the rigid structure of reality television allowed Jinger to step into a role that prioritizes what truly matters, nurturing her family, fostering meaningful relationships, and cultivating a quiet but fulfilling life away from the limelight. This shift has not been without its challenges. Balancing the demands of raising 2 young children while preparing for a third has required immense resilience and adaptability. Yet, through it all, Jinger has demonstrated a remarkable ability to find strength in vulnerability. Whether she's sharing glimpses of her daily routine or opening up about the highs and lows of parenting, she consistently reminds others that perfection isn't the goal. Love, patience, and grace are. Her willingness to embrace imperfection has not only helped her navigate the inevitable chaos of family life, but has also inspired countless others to do the same. As Jinger looks ahead to welcoming baby number 3, her journey reflects a profound sense of gratitude and purpose. Each milestone she reaches serves as a testament to her growth, not just as a mother, but as a person continually striving to live authentically and intentionally. Parenthood, with all its unpredictability, has become a source of joy and fulfillment for Jinger, allowing her to deepen her faith, strengthen her bonds with Jeremy and their children, and create memories that will last a lifetime. While the road ahead may bring new challenges, there's no doubt that Jinger will face them with the same courage, humility, and unwavering spirit that have defined her thus far.